welcome back to my channel. This is Peggy from Eli Marie Studios. We are about a week or so away from Halloween, and I have a couple things that I wanted to wrap up around the house as far as Halloween decor. And we're going to a Halloween party later on, I guess it's next week actually. So we're going to be making something to bring along with us for that. So first thing we're going to do, if you've been to Target at all during this fall season, you've probably seen these in the what's it called? The Target dollar spot. And I'll show you. It's these buckets. They have black and they have orange. They may have other colors, but I've only ever seen black and orange. So I picked up a couple of these. This one was $5. So I picked up the black one and I picked up the orange one. The black one I set aside for Halloween, but I'm also going to be using the orange one probably later on in the fall season. We'll make something for Thanksgiving is my guess. So what we're going to do with this is going to be my trick-or-treat bucket. This is our second Halloween technically living in this apartment. But the first Halloween we were here, we were in the middle of COVID and we also had a newborn. So trick-or-treating was not exactly at the forefront of my mind. So today we're going to be dressing up this bucket to get ready for Halloween for our trick-or-treaters. So I have two SVGs that I found on Cricut Design Space. Actually, I guess it's just one SVG, and then the other one is just some text that I typed into Cricut Design Space, and then I added a couple of little images around it. So I'm going to go ahead and get these weeded, and I will link all of the images and the text and the font that I used down below in the description box, so you'll be able to access these. So let's get these weeded. I actually use, this is just Cricut's vinyl. I had some, let me see, this is Cricut's permanent white vinyl. And I had a little bit left over from a previous project, so I just wanted to kind of use up some of my scraps. It's not my favorite vinyl. It's really hard to weed because it's white on white. So I actually have, my partner bought me this a couple years ago for my birthday. So we're going to be using the Cricut, I think it's called the Cricut Bright Pad, to help us with this weeding. So I'm going to turn this on and we'll get started. Alright, so we are going to grab our transfer tape. Actually, I think I have a scrap here that's going to work just fine. How big is my other piece? Let's see if these will both fit. Yeah, that will. Oh, that one's going to be a little bigger. Alright, so let me size this down super quick. And again, I'm leaving my bright pad on because it's quite tricky to see the white on the white. So let me turn this off. Oops. And move this to the side. And before I do anything, I'm actually going to take this bucket and I'm going to take some, I just use the CVS brand isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Grab a paper towel And I'm gonna remove the dirt. Oh, there it is. I knew I'd find it. Stuck to the side. I'm gonna just remove any of the dirt, dust, oils, anything like that from my fingers from the surface. And then once that's all wiped down and dry, you can go ahead and get making. So I'm gonna move this off to the side real quick so that can dry. And we're gonna start with our, I'm gonna use this one here. Start laying down our transfer tape. All right, let's see if I can peel up the corner of this. This part's always kind of tricky. Come on. Maybe if I go the other way. I wonder if I'll have more success. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna lay our transfer tape just like this. Pull it across our image. Everything's covered. Let me cap and move this before we have an accident. That wouldn't be good. All right, so let me burnish this down real good. So this side, if you haven't seen it already, it says Happy Halloween. This is actually going to be the back side of my little bucket here. But I just took a font in Cricut Design Space. I don't remember which one it was off the top of my head, so I will put that information down below. It was just one of the ones that you get with Cricut Access. And then I found some little ghost SVGs and I added them to the corners of this, and then I had to do a little bit of slicing and dicing to get the eyes because the eyes weren't in there the first time around. Oh, sorry for the loud noise. And then burnish the back. Make sure everything's stuck down. All right, and then I'm gonna peel back. Look at that, the carrier sheet. Perfect. Here we go. So that one says Happy Halloween. So let me grab my bucket. We're gonna do the side first and then we're gonna reuse that transfer tape. All right, so I might have to, I think I might have to, actually that stays pretty steady. Let me see if I can kind of shore this up with anything so that it doesn't slide everywhere. You know, we'll just do that. You move it so it's in camera a little better. All right, so, whoops. Stuck that down on the edge of my transfer tape. Let me just get that back in view. All right, so I'm just going to line it up generally in the middle. I think actually our middle is closer over here because it kind of rolled a little bit. So just burnish this down. I'm just going to start with my finger, kind of rub that down onto the bucket, and then I'll go in with my scraper. Just because I don't really want, I don't know if this will scratch it. It probably won't if I use the scraper. Our transfer tape is a pretty good size. I'm just using the Cricut transfer tape. I have a whole bunch left over my stash. I'd like to find a different one, and I actually really want to find a transfer tape that's good for like paper products and cardboard products, things like that. Things that something that has like, it's not quite as strong of an adhesive. I have a couple ideas coming up for the fall. I'd like to make my own fall door sign, and I have a couple of these like wood rounds that I found at Michael's, I guess it was, but I stained them and I painted it, and I kind of want to add a little season's greeting to it, but I'm a little worried that if I use this transfer tape, it's just gonna rip, or it's gonna take the paint off and the stain off and might damage the wood. So peel this one off. Yeah, see, that's having a kind of hard time coming off. There we go. So there's Happy Halloween on one side. And I'm gonna put this over here for a sec. And we'll grab our second image. Reuse the same transfer tape. Finish that down. This one says trick or treat. If you can't see it, it's a little hard to see. Oh, my light's going. Sun went behind a cloud. Hopefully you guys can still see that. Oh, here it comes again. All right, so trick or treat. It's got these little candy corns and pumpkins. So once this is burnished down, oh, I stuck it to my mat. Hang on. There you go. Turn this over, burnish it down. Has anyone ever gone to those trunk or treat things? I've never gone before, but my daughter's school is hosting one. My sister-in-law's work is hosting one. So we're thinking of going to a couple of them. My daughter's she's almost 2. She'll be 2 in December. And so she obviously last year was, she was too young to trick or treat, and it was pretty cold, if I remember right, last year. And we never took her to any trunk or treats, but I've heard a number of parents say that they're a lot of fun, and it's kind of the way to go with little kids. But I've never been to one. So if anyone has ever been to one, they want to share their experience, or any pointers, I would appreciate it. Feel free to drop a comment. So I think we'll go to both of those, but I kind of, our town is pretty good about trick-or-treating. They've kept, I know trick-or-treating is kind of, the last couple of years I've heard a number of people say that trick-or-treaters aren't as common as they were. Like when I was a kid, we used to stay out a lot of the night and trick-or-treat. But now trick-or-treaters aren't as common, and it might be because of COVID. And maybe it's just that kids are going to more of these trunk-or-treat events. But if anyone has any insight into that or wants to share what their kids do, I really hope that trick-or-treating sticks around. I think that'll be definitely something that I'll be really sad about losing, you know, for my daughter's sake as she grows up. I have such fond memories of trick-or-treating that if she doesn't get to do that, or if it's just not as popular, you know, I'm sure they'll come up with their own memories and their own ways to celebrate. But I don't know. I hope it sticks around. Come on, that one needs a little help. There we go. Hopefully you guys can, oh, I'm not even on camera. Oh, sorry guys. Okay, well, that's all right. Let's move that back. All right, so here is roughly my middle. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is just gonna go outside, full of candy. Doesn't have to be totally straight. That's okay. All right, so let me burnish that down. Just start with my finger again. And then I'll go in with my scraper. Make sure that's good and stuck down. All right, so let's peel that off nice and slow. Make sure everything's stuck. Yeah, beautiful, look at that. All right, so this transverse tape still has, whoops, still has quite a bit of stick. So I'm gonna put it back on the transfer paper. And we can use it again later. Actually, maybe this would be a good piece of transfer tape to use on like a paper-based project. I don't know if it would tear at that point. Now that it's kind of lost some of its sticky tape or stickiness. So I'm gonna put that aside. We can use that for later. And let me show you. All right, so here's our bucket. Trick or treat on one side. Happy Halloween with some little ghosts on the other. And I wanted to finish it off. Do I have it right here? Let's see. Okay, so I have this ribbon that I got from Michaels. All of their Halloween and fall stuff is on sale, so it's originally $9.99, but I definitely did not get it for that much. So it's kind of this, I think I've used this before, but in a smaller version. It's kind of this like pumpkin-y orange ribbon. It's got a little bit of that burlap feel, but it also, I don't know if the camera's picking it up or the light. Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit. It's got a little bit of shimmer in it. So we're gonna tie that. Hopefully it's not too big, actually. It might be too big. I wonder if we can just double it up or fold it in half. So let me move this off to the side. Unpackage this, and we're just gonna tie a little bow right around our bucket, pull in some more of the Halloween colors, kind of break up the white and the black. Let me just make sure I have enough. Okay, so that wraps around. I'm going to do a little bit more so I can do a bow. All right, so this is wired ribbon, which if anybody has any pointers about how to gracefully, I guess, tie wired ribbon, I will take the pointers. So let me pop this off to the side, and I'm actually just gonna fold this in half, I think, because the ribbon is wider. I bought this without having the bucket with me. You know what I'm gonna do, actually? You know, okay, so I have my glue gun here. I was gonna use it for the project that's coming up next. But I think what I'm gonna do is get the glue gun heating up, and we're gonna add just a little dab of hot glue just to keep that ribbon in place so that it doesn't unfurl as I'm trying to work with it and trying to resize it. So while that's heating up. Okay, so we can just leave that heated up because we're going to use it in just a second. But let me grab our bucket one more time. And like I said, this is the back, so I want this to be the front. So I'm going to just loop this underneath, even it up on both sides. And actually what I can do is add a little bit of hot glue right here and then stick my ribbon right on top so it just stays as I try to tie it, so I don't have to keep fighting with it. All right, and I can actually do the same under the hinges to keep it in one place on all sides. Okay, so then when I go to tie it, I have it right here. And actually, maybe I will add a little bit right in here as well so that this just sticks just like that and just like this. So then I'm going to do it just like see how this goes. This is a very thick ribbon, so if it just doesn't quite work out, it doesn't quite work out, and that's okay. All right, so let me trim this down. Let's see, can you guys even see that? I don't even think you can even see that. So this is quite big, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna make these kind of bunny ears a little smaller. And then I'm going to trim some of the excess ribbon, oops, like that. And then I think what I'm going to do is kind of polish that up, oops. To kind of polish that up a bit, let me hold it where you guys can see it. I'm going to tuck these just like that. Oh, you can see some glue there. I'll have to kind of get that off. Just like that. So you can still see. And it looks just like that. So there we go. Trick or treat. I'll push my handles down. Trick or treat on one side. Happy Halloween on the other. So all of our Halloween candy will go right in there. And there you go, trick or treat bucket. All right, so the next craft we are going to make for my sister and my sister-in-law are having a Halloween party. It's the first one that I've ever been to. So I'm super excited for this. So I'm gonna be making, it's kind of like a potluck style. So I'm gonna be making some cupcakes and some sugar cookies. But for the cupcakes, I figured why not do a little Halloween cupcake topper. So with my Cricut, and again, I will link all of the information down below. I printed out, or I cut out rather, a whole bunch of little Halloween shapes. So we've got some spider webs, some pumpkins, we've got this fun little witch. These are the moons that go behind the witch. I've got a couple ghosts, and then some jack-o'-lanterns as well. Oops. Oh yeah, and then I have at least one witch hat. My cupcake tin, I was counting, I can fit 18. So let me move these down so you can see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, sorry, not 18. I can fit 12. I don't know where 18 came from. I can fit 12. So let's start kind of building these up. So at our local grocery store, I just found I wanted some of the toothpicks that were on the longer side. Like I could find the short ones, but I wanted longer ones so I could attach all of our cupcake toppers to it. So what I'm gonna do is just simply, for example, take a little ghost, put a little hot glue on the back of them, and then just pop on my toothpick. And that's it. Super simple. But there's my ghost. And then when he's dry, I'm gonna just draw little eyes on him. So I'm gonna just do these real quick. I'll probably time lapse it so you don't have to sit here and watch the whole thing in real time. But when we're done, we'll regroup and we'll add a couple of the little finishing touches. All right, so our, what are these called? Our not cake toppers, our cupcake toppers are all glued to their shapes. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some finishing touches for a couple of these. So I want to find, where's my black Sharpie? This one, super high tech, guys. All we're going to do is just grab, if I can find my Sharpie, good Lord. I should have set it aside before we started, but did I do that? No, I did not. All right, you know what? I found the little Sharpie, the thin one. So we're gonna make do. So we're just gonna draw a couple little eyes on him. And that's it. There you go. There's our ghost. Kind of this holographic paper. We'll do our next one. There you go, there's our ghost. So we'll put him off to the side. The next one we're gonna do, let's see, I think I did the pumpkins first, so those should be pretty dry. What we're gonna do with the pumpkins, oop, I forgot a pumpkin, hang on. He's hiding off to the side there. All right, we'll let him dry a sec, but let's do the other ones first. So the other pumpkins, I'm just gonna take a little bit of my Barely Art glue, precision craft glue, and I'm just gonna, which way does it go? It goes that way. All right, I'm just gonna glue a little bit of, put a little glue on this one. Oh, sorry, I did that off camera. We're gonna pop him. Oh, actually, I think he goes here. Or does he go here? He goes here. Oh, he's a little off center. All right. There we go. He's all set. Let's add some glue to this one. I printed out, or I cut out, I keep saying printed. I cut out a couple patterns of pumpkins because I kind of like both of them. I like the triangle eyes. He felt very classic. But I also liked, this one looked a little less spooky, it's a little more happy. There's this pumpkin. And we've got one more. This is just an extra. Let me just put him off to the side. And this was just, I have a couple envelopes. I store my scraps, my scrap cardstock in some of those plastic envelopes from scrapbook.com. And so I just reached into my scrap stash and I just used that for these little cupcake toppers. And that was it. Super simple. It was a great way to use up some of my materials. I personally get a lot of satisfaction from using things up. I don't want to hoard. If I have it in my space, I have a pretty small craft space, so if I have it in my space, I want to use it. So for this one, this is the moon. Whoops, turn it this way. And then our little witch is going to be riding her broomstick across it. So, or in front of the moon rather. So let me add, glue her down. I think I put glue a little too high. That's all right, it'll dry on the back. So there we go, there's our witch. And we'll do our next one. There she is, riding her broomstick. And the last but not least, we have a couple of spider webs. Oh, just kidding. We have one more after that. We have to do our little witch hat. But for the spider webs, I use some more of that holographic paper scraps. Let me see. I have to make sure I get the right sizes. And I printed off a couple. Oh, good Lord. I cut out, not printed off, I cut out a couple of these little bats. So we're just going to sprinkle these across the spider web. I tried to find a spider to match the spider web, you know, but I don't know, I couldn't find one I liked or that I thought would cut out well, given how small it is. Like the little spider legs, I just figured those would, sometimes like those fine lines, the Cricut just, I don't know, my Cricut at least, maybe I just need to change my blade, but it doesn't seem to be able to handle those ones super well. So we're just gonna put those kind of all around. This one down here, and there you go, a couple little bats on our spider web. And we'll do the next three. Oh, I'm missing one. Oh, it's over to the side here. He flew away. Oh no. Come on. Okay. Rest him on top. Oh, I think I goofed on one of the sizes. I think this is the smaller one. Yeah. That's all right. I'm not going to change it. It's all good. They're just cupcake toppers, right? You move on. You make it work and you move on. All right, and there we go. There's our next little bat and spiderweb combo. All right, so the last one we have to do, oh, I've got my little hot glue strings everywhere. All right, so the last one we have to do is a witch hat. So I've got the little band for her hat right here. So we'll just add a little glue. Place that right here. And then in my handy dandy little Tupperware over here, we have the little belt buckle. So add the slightest amount of glue there. Actually, I should probably get my tweezers out for that. This will probably be easier. That's all right. We're just gonna. Oh, yep. All right. Tweezers coming out. Hang on. All right, let's do tweezers. Yeah, much easier. All right. Oh, good. All right, so you can see a little bit of glue kind of poking out from the outside, so that's okay. This dries clear, so no one will even notice. There we go. All right, and there's our little witch hat. So here are all of our cupcake toppers. We've got our witches, our ghosts. I'm gonna darken those eyes once I find my for real Sharpie, the classic black Sharpie, you know. I will go back and I will kind of darken those up because the smaller Sharpie just didn't quite cut it, but I will do that. I will do that off camera so you don't have to be subjected to that. So, all right, there are our cupcake toppers. I think it'll be a fun addition to the Halloween party. Make some fun Halloween colored cupcakes with some frosting. And we have our trick-or-treat bucket, which was here. So I had a lot of fun making these. Thanks guys for sticking around, and I will catch you next time. Happy Halloween.